So last year you broke a quite incredible record at the Royal Liverpool.
Yeah,
I did. Talk us through that?
It was great. We did 10 nights consecutively, and we beat the record, which was previously held by Frank Sinatra. And I felt really proud. And in the Evening Standard, the headline was "Old Blue Eyes beaten by Young Lazy Eyes." So all the glamour was instantly robbed of me. But we also beat Barry Manilow. But yeah, it was amazing. It was pretty cool. Quite knackering doing 10 nights. And there were two of the oddest gigs because one of the shows we did, my throat was really playing up, so I went to some bloke at Harley Street, like sort of like a rock and roll doctor, kind of get us through it. And he shot something, like he injected something into my ass, and I was genuinely high. I did a show with one of the weirdest gigs I've ever done. I really enjoyed it. Not so much sure about the crowd, but yeah, Can you remember that, Kay? Yeah, it was a really interesting gig, but I don't know what he shot into me, but it really worked.
Yeah, when we met you briefly, and you had kind of all sorts of aerosols and ginger or tea.
Yeah, it's sort of that strange thing of just sort of doing 10 nights and you sort of chatting for like an hour and 45 minutes. It's kind of pretty sad. You have to look after yourself to kind of make because there's like 5,000 people and we were doing it in the round, and you want to make it sort of magnificent. So you got to look after yourself.
Did you intentionally set out to break the venue record?
Somebody at the box office who works here said, "Do you want to try and beat the record?" And I'm quite competitive, so I was like, "Yeah." So it's quite cool, isn't it? Unfortunately, the photo they've got here it's me in a pose pretending to be Nigel Farage on stage. So it looks like I'm doing the gig, like a dickhead. It's this beautiful moment, and it's really nice, but the photo is awful. But my mum's got it as well at home, and it's just everyone's like, "Why are you pulling that face?"
So you're immortalised.
Yeah, exactly. So I will be in this hall forever as Nigel Farage.
Yeah, you did the shows in the round.
Yes.
I've never seen a comedian do that, certainly here before.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
I don't know, just be such a beautiful shape. And I kind of wanted to do something different because we'd done all these sort of massive arenas before. I just thought it'd be quite cool to try and make it a bit more intimate. It was really great, actually. And then, you sort of figure out how to play to each side. And it kind of made it, just sort of made it slightly unique and interesting.
Did it take a while to get used to that?
Not really, no. It's sort of, we figured it out fairly quickly because your instinct kicks in and you kind of, you're playing to this side, so there's like, 1,300 people there, and then you go there and you kind of wander over there, and then so you're kind of flirting with 4 different people, and it's great. It sort of really works, and there's sort of screens as well so people can see you. But it was just a sort of different way of doing it rather than just having, like 5,000 people there. You can kind of have them closer to you.
The venue itself, what's it like kind of playing at the Albert Hall?
It's incredible. It's the best venue in the world. It's so, when people walk in, you're hit with this sort of magnificence, and it creates its own atmosphere. So they're already excited, and then they kind of walk in to this kind of palace, and suddenly the crowd, you can feel the crowd go, oh my God, and everyone's taking selfies because the venue is so beautiful, and then you have to compete with how magnificent it is, and turn it into like a really filthy comedy night. And luckily you can. Like it looks all very regal and you can break it down, but everyone's played it, like Billy Connolly's played it, so we can filth it up.
Have you seen shows here before?
Yeah, I saw Bob Dylan here, and I saw Coldplay, and it was amazing. It's pretty fascinating seeing Dylan. He does not go in for audience participation. It's incredible. Have you ever seen him? So you're like, wow, my God, it's just Bob Dylan, and you can feel everyone in the room going, what's he playing? Like that, because it's blowing in the wind, and he gets halfway through. He goes, he's doing Blowing in the Wind, brilliant. It's,
but even his like most dedicated fans, like, what is he?
It's extraordinary, isn't it? But But I love the fact that he's still going and just changing the way he does songs, and it was pretty inspiring just seeing him. But it just blew my mind that he didn't say hello. Like I just couldn't do a gig like that where you just walk on and just crack into it.
It'd be an interesting thing to try.
Yeah, well, just start doing stuff. Yeah.
no audience interaction at all.
Yeah.
You played it as before as well, of course.
Yes.
And we look back in the archive, and the first time it says was the Secret Policeman's Ball in 2008.
I did, yeah. I played.
There's kind of an old video of you talking about Bebo backstage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bebo?
Yeah. So
Wow.
someone was asking you questions about what would you put on Bebo or something like that.
Wowzers.
You kind of suddenly dated it.
God.
What are your memories of that night?
My memory of that is I was on the bill with Eddie Izzard, and it was the first time I met him, and we were both in the urinal. And I was in the cubicle, I think he was at the well, what would you call that? The urinal, yeah. So, and then he walked out, and we sort of walked out together, and I was so aware of my walk in comparison to him. He walks really magnificently, and I walk like an orangutan in clothes. And I was really like, my hands kind of go backwards. I have a kind of a simian quality to my gait, and he's sort of walking really beautifully, and it was like he had a fucking monkey, mate. So my memory is that I was trying to correct my walk as I was next to Eddie, and then he looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm trying to walk better." And he went, "Mm-hmm," and kind of wandered off. And it was an awkward moment. And I got a selfie with him. I was really excited to do a show, and I thought, well, I might not ever be back doing a gig like this. So I got a selfie. It's kind of embarrassing because I've seen him a few times subsequently, and right. But it was great. It was really good fun. Very nerve-wracking, and it was on telly as well. So, but it was really cool. It's just a beautiful room, and I don't know, like everyone on tonight, and every comic that's ever played a room this wonderful has played so many kind of little pubs and really tiny clubs and for small festivals. I've performed in a lift once. In fields, and when you find yourself in a venue like this, it's a real kind of pinch yourself moment. You can't quite believe that little you that had this kind of absurd dream to do stand-up suddenly find yourself in this kind of coliseum. Incredible, But it just kind of goes by in a flash and is just a gig. That's the weird thing, that you try and really enjoy it, but it's kind of like FA Cup final syndrome every time, that you just end up just playing the game, and then you can't remember anything about it. Other than the odd things about, Eddie Izzard walks in a weird way. Or the first time I played here, my sister gave birth. We did 4 nights, and the third night she gave birth to her first son. And I had her on speakerphone at the end of the gig, and everyone was singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" to her newborn son. Because I was trying to get him to be a Liverpool fan, so I kind of remember that as a sort of a special night as well. And my sister's screaming, "I'm not on FaceTime, am I?" Because I look like a state. I was like, no. We had like screens, and she thought like she was all hanging out and stuff like that, but she wasn't. But yeah, but do you know what I mean? It's odd that that's what I remember rather than sort of material and stuff like that. You just remember all the kind of incidentals. It'd be beautiful if there was a way of remembering the gig, but you're just in this weird sort of trance about, I'll do that joke, and I'll do this joke, and I'll do that joke,
How does it feel when you kind of walk off stage? Because a lot of musicians say that they're on a buzz and they're on the high after a show. Is it a bit different for a comedian?
I don't know, yeah, it's sort of, there's a sense of, like, last time is the first, we started the tour here, so, we I didn't know whether the stuff was any good. So the first, 3 gigs, there's that sense of like, all right, phew, it's good. Oh God, it was all right. Oh, phew. And then by gig 6, 7, it's just great. And then it's the same as anything. It just quickly becomes like, oh, that was really fun. Yeah, it wasn't so great that night. Or, it just becomes so workaday that it just, it's the same as anything. Like, when you walk in, it's amazing, and then 10 days later, you're like, God, get me out of this shithole. It's just ridiculous, But.
Is your nephew still a Liverpool fan?
He is still a Liverpool fan, yeah, but he's not really a fan of mine. But he still likes Liverpool. But he's
got your audience to thank for his.
Yeah, he just doesn't. I don't know. We just don't really click. But I'm sure, because I'm the only one in my family that isn't falling over him, so I'm trying to just treat him like an adult. That's my attempt, and everyone else is like, oh hello, and I'm like, all right.
Uncle Aloof.
Yeah, exactly, Uncle Aloof, exactly.
There's more value in that.
Well, so I'm playing the long game, so I figure that I'll be kind of like a cool uncle in the future. But at the minute, I mean, he just keeps making up. Like my dad's been telling him lies about me, so that I've like been chased by the police and stuff like that. So then I play up to this, and then kind of just this moment where my mum caught me having like a sort of a stand-up argument with a 4-year-old where I'm screaming, I am the police, I run the police. And he's going, you don't. And my mum's like, what's wrong with you? And you're like, and I genuinely said, he started it. He's 4, and I'm losing an argument to a child. So, but yeah, he's still a Liverpool fan, yeah.
And that's thanks to the Albert Hall.
It is.
Claim that one.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you plan to come back, maybe beat your record one day?
No, I don't think I'll do 10 nights again, but I'd love to do like what everyone else does, just sensible, just do just the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, have a few days off, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, I'm slightly over doing kind of big arenas. I don't know, I just find the kind of stuff that I'm doing now, it doesn't really lend itself to kind of these sort of enormous domes. As fun as they are, I don't know, if you want to do something a bit more measured, it's quite hard. But I think here, it still has that capacity to be a huge room and a very small room. So I think you can do anything in there. So I would love this to be the place where I do gigs in London forever. You know, I just think it's the best. And it's so, I don't know, it's just a really magical place. I really hope I don't die on my arse tonight. That'd be awful. Imagine that. It's the best place ever. Like Jesus, he said that after he just absolutely died.
We'll put this video out right up.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, assuming it goes well tonight, touch wood it will, I'll definitely be back.
And I'm pretty sure your record's very safe.
Yeah, I think so. Unless Manilow, it'd be great if Manilow took it back, wouldn't it? If Manilow, I mean, I'd love it if he got wind of this and just went and did 11. And then I end up in this weird battle for all life with Barry Manilow.
That's all rivalries.
Yeah, it's really funny, eh? And then, it's so, oh God. It was a weird emotion when Manilow dies. I'll just be like, it is complete. Terrible. But yeah, I'd love it if he beat me. It'd be very funny.
Is that the only time you come back and do 12 shows of Manilow?
Well, to destroy Manilow, yeah, it's between me and Manilow now. So if you're watching, Barry, I hope you beat me.